Let's talk about a growth mindset. Stephen Covey says, if you want to make small improvements in the organization, then you focus on changing attitudes and behaviors. If, on the other hand, you want to make quantum improvements, then focus on changing paradigms. Attitudes and behaviors will follow. A growth mindset may be a new way of thinking for some of us. For some of us, we might already have it. The way that our students are learning and the way that we're teaching is changing right before our very eyes. So 2020 has shown us that we need to be flexible and we need to grow. And one of the ways that we can do this is through the growth mindset. So to my teachers, I'm going to ask a quick poll. How many of you have no previous exposure to mindset research, have some familiarity with the topic, or a great amount of knowledge about it? I know to my teachers that we've heard of this before a couple of years ago, but we haven't really touched on it much since then. So to our teachers, think about how this year for virtual learning has been going for you. Has there been some learning curves from you? Have you felt overwhelmed with the new learning? And do you think it's for you? Do you think that virtual learning is something that you could do? Now, as you all know, that I am um, one of the quote unquote baby teachers because this is only my fourth year, but as a full time classroom teacher. But before my time here, I was a virtual teacher. I taught English to children in China. And so I had some experience with virtual learning. And now we've all had our thing where, we've had our issues with the virtual learning because many of us here at the Career Center, we focus on CTE, we focus on hands-on things, and many of you just don't do the computer stuff, as you told me. But to be honest, from the from March when COVID first started to now, you guys have grown. We've grown so much as a school and as a district with the virtual learning. So think about that. The same way that the teachers had to learn how to use new skills and learn technology is the same way that our students, this is how the students feel on a daily basis when they're learning new things. So think about those feelings and some of the things that you may have said. They might not think school is for them. So let's do a mindset checkup. And if you add these together, a certain score will tell you if you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. So let's take some time to understand the growth mindset and the power of it. Um, the fixed mindset will kind of say that I'm not good at virtual learning, I'm not creative, or maybe I'm not athletic. But the growth mindset will say you're wrong. That's fixed mindset talk. I don't understand this virtual learning yet, or I can't design a house yet for my construction people, or I can't play soccer yet for the athletes. When we're teaching students, we need to let them know that even though they may not be able to do something currently, that does not mean that they will never be able to do it. They just can't do it yet. When I'm teaching students about growth mindset, one of the first things that I begin to tell them is that think about a baby. All of us in here know how to walk, but we didn't come out this way. We weren't born this way. Nobody was born knowing how to walk already. We had to learn how to walk. We crawled first. We took a few steps, fell down, took a few more steps, fell down, maybe didn't try again. We're babies, so we're learning. We're constantly standing up, standing up, and falling down until we're strong enough to walk on our own. And that is what the growth mindset is all about. The growth mindset was created by Dr. Carol Dweck, and she published a book called Mindset. Her research says that your belief about your own ability affects decisions related to learning. And so there are two mindsets. There's the fixed mindset, and then there's the growth mindset. The fixed mindset says that intelligence is static. It leads to a desire to look smart and therefore a tendency to avoid challenges, give up easily on obstacles, have low effort. You see effort as fruitless or worse. You ignore useful negative feedback And you feel threatened by the success of others. You feel like how you were born is how you're supposed to be. A growth mindset says that intelligence can be developed. It leads to a desire to learn and therefore a tendency to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, see effort as a path to mastery, learn from criticism, and find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. So a fixed mindset thinks that talent alone creates success without effort. If you aren't born with it, you don't have it, you won't have it. Intelligence is set in stone, but a growth mindset says that intelligence can be developed. No one is born knowing everything or being able to do everything, and willing to confront challenges, able to stick to difficult tasks and bounce back from failure. That's what a growth mindset is. So why is it important for us to adopt and promote a growth mindset, and why is it important for us to teach this to our students? A fixed mindset is dangerous. If students have the fixed mindset that they can't learn math, they're not good at math, they're not good at science, they'll never try. So with the growth mindset, it's important because it raises student achievement. It raises their motivation, their productivity. You have to think about our unique student population here at our career center. You know, some of our students, they don't know very much English, and some of them, they don't want to go to college. And the way that our society is set up, we push college as the form of success. But here, you know, we're pushing students to be career orientated. We have students that will be graduating with certain certificates. Yes, some of them will go to college, but some of them will go straight into the workforce. And so for students that some of the students that we receive, um, you know, no one tells them that they can be successful. They think that they can't. They think that they can. They think that they're average students. So we need to keep in mind the type of students that we have, because these students are actually great students. They stepped out of their comfort zone to come away from their particular schools to come to our school. They spend time away from their favorite teachers, their friends, and everything just to come to our school to learn some new skills, so they will be prepared to go in the workforce. And to be honest, the success of our students is very important to our community. The future of our very community depends on the success of our students. Our students are being trained in health science, child care development, construction, welding, auto technology, marketing, all these things that we need for our society to function properly. So the very success of our community is dependent on the success of our students. So how can we help our students adopt a growth mindset? We have to teach it to them. We have to coach them, give them encouragement. We have to reward them for their hard work. Give them active learning activities. Everything shouldn't be lecture, question, lecture, question. Field trips. Although we can't have field trips right now, different videos, online learning modules. Give them different ways to learn. Everybody doesn't learn the same way, and we have to keep that in mind. We also have to teach students how to learn. Although we have high schoolers, that doesn't mean they know how to learn. That doesn't mean that they know what they should be doing. They may not know how to study. They may not know these things. It's our job to teach them how to learn and how to access information. And we need to give them structured opportunities for their reflection on the cycle of learning. They have to know like where they started from. We have to show them their progress, and how we have to show them that they are growing and that they are not doing this for nothing. So growth mindsets can be taught. You know, our students need to know that the brain can stretch and grow like a muscle, that they can get smarter, that giftedness can be cultivated. It's not innate. Students, they need to be exposed to circumstances where talents can flourish. If a student never had the opportunity to be a math whiz, how can they be a math whiz if they've never been in an environment to help them grow? And our lessons must require effort and challenge. So those students who excel make deliberate efforts and systematically address weaknesses. They push themselves beyond their comfort zone. And so we have to make students comfortable with being uncomfortable. And we have to grow every day. Our growth mindset should be embedded into our daily activities. We need to set daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals for ourselves and for the students, and approach the day with how can we be better and how can I reach my goals. And so there's 4 steps into changing your mindset. The first step is learn how to hear your fixed mindset. As you hit a setback, the voice might say, This would have been a snap if you really had talent. As you approach a challenge, that voice might say to you, "Are you sure you can do it? Maybe you don't have the talent. What if you fail?" Don't let that fixed mindset get roots into your brain. The second step is to recognize that you have a choice. We have choices every single day. As you hit a setback, the voice might say, "This would have been maybe you don't have talent, or what if you fail?" You have a choice. All you do have a choice in all life choices, and sometimes just because we make the wrong choice doesn't mean that we won't have a second chance. Reframe your thoughts as a growth mindset. Instead of saying "I can't," turn it into "I can." Fixed mindset says, "Are you sure you can do it? Maybe you don't have the talent." The growth mindset answers, "I'm not sure I can do it now, but I think I can learn how to do it with time and effort." A fixed mindset says, "What if you fail? You'll be a failure." A growth mindset says, "Most successful people have failures along the way." And then take the growth mindset action. Over time, which voice you hear, which you heed, becomes pretty much your choice. Whether you take on the challenge wholeheartedly or learn from your setbacks and try again. Hear the criticism and act on it as it's now in your hands. Practice hearing both voices and practice acting on the growth mindset and see how you can make it work for you. Accept that education will never go back to normal. COVID, as we know, it has kind of caused us all to have a growth mindset. But we should focus on the benefits. So now, instead of it being how can we move to blended learning, we've had to be forced to move to blended learning. And it's causing differentiations to the max. Parents have chosen what's best for their students, either virtual learning or in-person learning. And so each student is already choosing their learning. And in my blog post, we can take it further. The students can further choose how they want to learn. Um, and we should also think about having a risk-free classroom environment. Standards based, which is standards based grading that focuses on growth and effort, and have more ideas in my blog post to tell you about that. So check the blog post.